Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Natalie with Natalie's Closet, coming to you with episode 4 of Getting to Know You. Stay tuned, I'll be right back. Welcome back everyone, and hello to all of our new subscribers. We've had several since Wednesday, so I hope you are enjoying the videos and our community. And of course, hello to all of our seasoned friends that are part of the community. I hope you guys have had a great week and that you have great plans for the weekend. I have lots of stuff I'm going to be working on as far as my whips and maybe sewing in some things on some of my other projects, and hopefully getting a leg up on organizing my yarnscape. We'll see how far I get this weekend. So as I mentioned in the intro, this is episode 4 of Getting to Know You. I have my handy dandy notebook with my pink ink, and oh, I thought I lost my pen. And I'm going to be going through some of the questions that have been asked of me, and any ideas that maybe people have brought up. And I'm going to ask you to please think of questions that you'd like to ask me, because I really enjoy doing this and I do really enjoy getting to know you guys. So the first thing I'm going to address is the subscriber of the week that I mentioned in the previous video. Now I'm going to give you a hint. This time I added something, so make sure you check the Wednesday video so that you can try to figure out what it is I added. But remember, you have to be specific, because I have decided to, instead of doing the first person that recognizes or mentions what was different, to do a random comment picker. And so the answers will always have to be in the Wednesday comments. I'm sorry, the Friday comments. Make sure that when you comment on what has changed, whether added or taken away, that you put it in the Friday comments, so I can go ahead and use the random comment picker and choose the winner. Now I'm going to be very specific. It allows you to put in keywords to look for, because it's not just any comment that's out there. The reason why I was originally wanting to do the first person is because I was trying to avoid having maybe a troll win, because the purpose of this is to recognize the friends of ours in this community who really support the channel and who watch the videos and take the time and, you know, care about it and want it to grow and stuff, rather than having somebody see that there are, you know, common comments coming up and then just simply putting in spider or something and then they win. I mean, that, to me, that's not fair. That's why I was going to do the first person that put in a legitimate comment or seemed legitimate. Maybe that doesn't make some happy. I'm sorry. I have no problem with people wanting to, you know, take advantage of giveaways and win stuff, but that's not the purpose of this. This was to really say thank you to people that are taking the time out to support the channel and having fun with it. I mean, I think this is fun. Maybe it's not to everybody, but hopefully we have a fun time with it. Plus, we have several members of the community that live on the other side of the world. I'm in the United States, but I have several that are in, I mean, everywhere, in Belgium and Australia and Africa and Israel and Dubai. I mean, there are people all over the world that are part of this, and depending on when the video comes out, it may not be fair to the people on the other side of the world or on this side, you know. So after thinking about it, I think this will be the most fair way of doing it, and hopefully with getting the specifics down, it'll maybe take away the chance that a troll will win the subscriber of the week. So I don't know why I went so long around that one. I apologize, but I am going to be referencing my notes today, which I took an extensive amount of, because we did have a lot of comments. I was really excited about that. When I started seeing all these comments, I was like, yay, because I realized I was behind on answering because I like to answer everybody's. And I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize there were so many comments. So yay on that. I'm so excited about that. You have no idea. So thank you very much on that. And remember, just keep coming up with questions, maybe suggestions or ideas or requests on what you'd like to see in the video. At some point I may put up a couple of polls to see what everybody is interested in. So we'll go from there. Now, as far as, like I said, when you're describing what it is that has changed, whether added or taken away, make sure you're specific. It's not just, let's say I have a ton of spiders up, it's not just the spiders taken down. No. You need to be specific on which type of spider, large, small, color, whatever, because I'm going to put that into the comment picker so that it detects those comments. So that we're done with that part of it. I'm just going over it a little bit more right now since it is the first week and I want to make sure everybody's clear on everything. So have fun with it, and I cannot wait to see all the comments that come up. So I'm going to start with questions. They're not in any order, and I'm going to hope to not jump around because I was kind of jotting everything down in the order that I was reading them and didn't go back to organize it. So I apologize for that. But one of the first questions was, do I wash the items I make before gifting or selling them? Originally, when I first started, I was thinking about it. However, I then had a couple people ask me at one of the shows that I did if I did wash, and when I said yes, because I started out that way, they specifically requested that I not wash. Regardless of whether or not I used unscented or anything, they just did not want it washed. And I've noticed that I've had more and more people asking for it to not be washed. So I do not wash my items anymore unless someone asks me to. Then I will. And again, that some people have allergies to scented things. Some people just don't want it to be touched other than being made. So unless somebody asks me to wash it, I do not wash the items. Then I had somebody ask what the best way is, what the best way is to block items containing wool, silk, cashmere, etc. It's actually, blocking is better for items made with natural fibers versus like acrylic. It's not actually ideal for acrylic, whether it's steam blocking or, you know, getting it wet and having it dry out. It's better for wools and silks and stuff to block. As far as steaming or oh my goodness, I can't think of the other way what it's called, but the thicker it is, I've actually read that with a thicker wool, it's better to like dunk it completely and gently, not wring it, but gently like squeeze it to get the water out, and then to go ahead and lay it out flat and pin it in place and then let it completely dry. Whereas with lighter wools or silks, cashmeres, cottons, that it's better to steam it with having, like, let's say putting a towel on top of it and not necessarily laying the weight of the iron on it, but to have it raised a little and having the steam go through. There are so many different ways that I've seen it. I know Jada with Jada and Stitches did a really great video on it. I'll link her in the description box below. I just want to make a note so that I remember to include her, because I didn't at the time. But so I'll try to find that video, and if I can't, I'll just at least link her channel in the description box below, and then you could go ahead and look it up. But she did a great one. There are several people. Shandy with Expression Fiber Arts, I know, has a video. I think it's an older one on how to block. So that's something you may want to go ahead and check out. Personally, I prefer not blocking. I just prefer it. And when it comes to the lotus flower blanket, my friend's mom is going to be getting it. I'll be getting it to her next week. But she actually asked me not to do anything with it, that she's going to be framing it and having a mat around it. And she said, you know, don't worry about it. Just, I want it the way it is. So I was like, okay, great. No problem. I'm not going to argue and beg you to block something. So it's up to you. Yes, it is a great thing. But I've heard both ways, that depending on which way you do it, when you wash it, sometimes it goes back to it. And if that's going to be the case, and you're gifting or selling something to somebody, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to want to have to do anything additionally besides washing and drying it. So to try to have to tell them, oh, you're going to have to reblock it, isn't going to be fun. Now, if you have a difference of opinion on that, and you think that is not the case, go ahead, leave it in the comment section below. I do know somebody said with acrylic, they steam block it, and it tends to kind of singe the fibers in place. So even when it's washed, it's not going to unblock. So again, if I'm wrong on something, please leave it in the comment section below, because I would love to learn if it is different, or, you know, if I am right or whatever. But there are many schools of thought out there on it, so it's not an easy answer. Somebody asked me when I started crocheting and who taught me. I started crocheting in the beginning of 2015, so 4 years ago, well, 4.5 years ago now, and I taught myself on YouTube. Thankfully, YouTube is around. Man, there's a lot to learn on YouTube. But I taught myself on YouTube, and I started my very first blanket, as I mentioned before. Even though I had practiced on on different patterns, I just wasn't getting the easy stitches. So my first blanket was actually a commissioned piece, which was that crocodile stitch blanket. That is it's slightly more advanced and more time consuming, but that was the very first blanket I did. But I taught myself how to crochet. My ex-mother-in-law actually taught me how to knit with ladder yarn by Lion Brand, and I did that for a couple of years. Well, for a couple of years, and then I stopped, and I prefer crochet. I just prefer it for several different reasons. Somebody asked me if I had a pattern for my coasters. I have been searching for it online, and I cannot find it yet, but I am still looking. So I will, once I find it, I will put it into the description box, and we'll let you know. Let's see. Sorry for all the uhs. Oh, my mom asked in one of the comments, and I figured I'd go ahead and answer because other people may be wondering it too. Does making a corner to corner mean fewer tying or sewing in ends? The answer is yes and no. In this particular case, yes, because I'm using the same yarn throughout, and there are 3 skeins, and as long as I can teach myself how to do the magic knot, there will only be the 2 ends, the beginning and the end. Yay! I'm so excited about that. Otherwise, if it was, let's say, changing colors, then personally, I'm not into the magic knot when it's changing colors, because it's hard to pinpoint when that new color is going to actually work itself in. Again, if you have ideas on that, please leave it in the description box below. But then there could have been potential of 6 ends. But yeah, I cannot wait to get that blanket going further, which it hasn't yet, but it will. And then I will be able to show that to you guys. My friend Christine asked about Miley's video. She asked how often I let Miley run it out like she does. And she's about to start talking, so I apologize in advance. If it gets too much, I will cut and come back. But I let her out in the yard and run her, whether it's playing ball or tug or whatever, at least 5 times a day. And then I try to get her to the dog park at least 4 to 5 times a week. If I can do it more, I do. But she is 3/4 Belgian Malinois and a 1/4 German Shepherd, so it's a very high drive breed. And Malinois in particular are very, very, very active and have a lot of energy. I mean, a lot of energy. So that's the answer there, Christine. And then thank you everyone that commented on Miley, saying how adorable she is and how she is a movie star, and yeah, and how adorable she is. She is, I have to admit it. Of course, I'm biased. She's mine, but I totally agree with you. She is unbelievable. She is the greatest dog. So thank you for that. And I know several of you really loved watching her hunt in the park. I love when she does that. That wasn't something she started out with when I first got her. It was about 6 months after I got her that the hunting started. And she just has a crazy skill when it comes to that. Miley, enough. I think she sees a squirrel outside. If she doesn't stop grumbling, I am going to pause it, have a talk with her, and come back. All right. I have a funny feeling it can't be a cat because she's really going nuts. All right. I'll be right back. All right. I'm back. I apologize for that. Hopefully she listened to my little chat with her. So now for any kind of comments and ideas, Karen made a comment about using vinegar when washing items, when I was referring to the question Catherine had about colors bleeding with the natural fibers that I use and the hand-dyed fibers or yarns that I use. Karen mentioned that it's great to wash items with a little vinegar in the water because it will block the colors in place, as well as, I guess, it softens the yarn and removes any chemicals from it. So it's actually a good thing for people that may have sensitivities to things, especially older people, babies, that type of thing. Personally, I cannot stand the smell of vinegar, and I actually mentioned that to her, and she said she can't either, but luckily it goes away once the item dries. Any thoughts, ideas about that? I've heard it from several places. Please go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. I appreciate that. Several people mentioned with my Tunisian blanket that they felt the fringe would be a little too busy, that they liked the diamond ends on it, which I agree. So my plan is that I'm going to sew in the ends slowly but surely, so it's not an overwhelming feat of unenjoyment. And then I'm going to go ahead and block the ends and not do a border because I feel a border is going to take away from it because I'd have to choose one color because otherwise I'm going to be defeating the purpose of making more ends, and I really don't want to do that. So I'm going to sew in the ends and then I'm going to block the ends so that the corners hopefully will flatten out. So I'm really excited about that, and I am working on it slowly but surely. Let's see. Several people mentioned that with the lotus flower blanket, the round one, that they checked out the pattern and that they themselves are going to start one, or they had been thinking about it, but now for sure are going to try it. So I'm really excited about that and cannot wait to see what it is you come up with. That's going to be really exciting. So make sure you let me know how that's going. I'll keep checking in not keep checking in, but I'll check in every so often to see how that's going for you guys. Also, from myself and my mom, thank you for all of the birthday wishes that everybody wished for my mom. We appreciate it. She had a great celebration for her birthday over last weekend, so thank you again. Also, evidently with my Tunisian blanket, I've inspired at least 2 people who either A, started a Tunisian blanket years ago, or B, were wanting to start one. I guess I inspired them to finish and or start it. So I'm really excited about that. That's another one that I can't wait to see. So yay for that. I love that particular. I love the entrelac, I think is how it's pronounced, blanket. It just looks so great, especially when you're using colors. Yay. Can't wait. Also, thank you so much for all the compliments on my very first stitch marker. I have a feeling I'm going to be keeping that one because I love pink and that shoe is just too cute. So now it's on to making more, which all of the ones that I have right now are all going to be blingy because I love bling. More bling the better. So I can't wait to be able to show you guys that. I haven't started any new ones, but I will. All right, so my friend Seagull had mentioned that she thought with my Halloween shawl that it would probably be best to use that one colored hank for the shawl versus trying to work in the orange. And actually a couple of my friends and I talked about that. And with this particular shawl that I chose, I don't know if any of you went to check out the link in my video from Wednesday, but the way it works up in a zigzag, there's no good way for me to start another color without it being obvious that it's cutting off. So I agree with that, and I am going to stick with the one and hopefully have enough yarn to make it enough to be just a shawlette that's around my neck. So we'll see how that goes. And then also she thanked me for putting in all of the links to either patterns I've used or patterns I like and tutorials and stuff in the description box. So you're welcome. That's something I know I always look for when I'm on somebody else's channel and they're talking about something and, you know, they put the links in. I think that's a really important part. So I hope you guys really can take advantage of that, because some of the patterns I get really excited about. And I know I've mentioned several of them in several videos because I've made the pattern in different ways or different yarns, but I'm sometimes a creature of habit. Even though I look for new things and try to get more intricate patterns that are easy, I still sometimes fall into a little pattern myself. But it is what it is, and I just enjoy what I do, especially when I'm choosing yarns that inspire me. So that, let's see, and I have made the decision that anytime I make a project, especially if there are going to be multiple ends, that I plan on sewing in the ends as I go. Like I'll do a few rows and then I'll sew in some ends so that it's not so overwhelming at the end, and then I'm not complaining to you guys that, oh my goodness, this is taking forever, because otherwise my only other option is to hire somebody to sew in my ends, and that's just not something I can do right now. But that is an option. That's always an option. Hire someone just to sew in the ends. I'm all for it. Especially with the Tunisian blanket. Oh my goodness, just the thought of it, it's a drag. It's not, because I love finishing a project, but that step just leaves a lot to be desired. So, oh, also, I just wanted to say, for anyone who hasn't made a corner-to-corner blanket, I, for whatever reason, never really was, maybe not interested, but it wasn't something that was really drawing me to it. And I have to say, several people said that they haven't made it, but they've thought about it, or they would like to, or it's on their to-do list. I definitely suggest you do it, especially if you have a really nice variegated yarn, because oh my goodness, it works up like a dream. It's fast, it's easy, it's definitely a pattern that you can do while watching Netflix or Prime. It's just a really, I love it, and I love the way the colors are working up. It's incredible. So I hope that you guys will go ahead and try it out, because it's really great. And I will have the links to all of the patterns that I've talked about this week in the description box below. So go ahead and check them out if you didn't get a chance to on Wednesday. So I think that's about it. This video got a little bit longer than I had planned, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I answered some of your questions and or questions you may not have realized you had. So again, remember, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, regardless of what it is. If you want to know something about me, Miley, yarn, fibers, patterns, anything like that, please leave them in the comment section below, and then I'll be able to address them in episode 5 of Getting to Know You next Friday. So I cannot wait to start seeing the comments about what changed in the on my screen back here. That's going to be fun. I love hearing everything. Of course, Julie was very silly and mentioned all the things I changed because it was all new. She was being funny, but that made me laugh so hard, Julie. That was priceless. So I look forward to that. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday, which hopefully I will have the arm that I ordered from Amazon that will allow me to do the review so that you can see my hands working with the yarn I got from Expression Fiber Arts, as well as the ribbon tape yarn from Hobium that you guys requested. So that I'm excited about, and I'm hoping to have that for Monday, as long as everything works out and I don't look like a fool with my hands or something. But All right, have a great weekend. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that, as well as make sure to leave a comment so that we can see who the subscriber of the week is this week. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you're interested in getting more or seeing more videos, please hit the red subscribe button down below, as well as a notification bell next to that so you can be notified anytime I do a video. And of course, if you're willing to share and you feel there is, a reason to share the video because of anything I may have answered, please go ahead, share with your friends, family, or Facebook groups that allow this type of video. So have a great weekend, everyone, and I will see you on Monday.